short. We're trying to make the 11 o'clock. So we probably have, I'd say, 8 minutes maybe with Sarah.
We can get lots in 8 minutes. We're good. How are you guys doing? Good? You like the show? Well, like Susan said, I'm one of the supervisors here at Dolphin Stadium. I know I've met some of you guys before. I know you got to see the pre-show and learn a little bit about our pilot whales, so I'm just here to tell you a little bit more in depth about their story. We're really excited they came to us. As many of you know, there's a lot of organizations out there that feel that these pilot whales would have been better left on the beach. Obviously here at SeaWorld we feel very differently. We are very passionate about the care we provide for our animals and the ability that we have to rescue and rehabilitate these animals. Our goal is always 100% to get them released back out into their natural environment. Now there are circumstances, obviously for the best welfare of the animals, that it's better that they stay in our care. That is something that is not decided by us as animal trainers or our animal care specialists. That's outside of our hands. So with these guys, the federal government actually are the ones that decided they were not able to be released, and they also decided where is the best place for them. Now SeaWorld jumped into action. Over 600 volunteers as well as SeaWorld staff was there when these pilot whales were stranded. We are going to provide 24-hour around-the-clock care for them, even if they decide they're not going to come to SeaWorld. That's, we don't really care. We're going to take care of animals no matter where they are. That's our call, and our animal care specialists, which through these weekends, it's a really awesome opportunity. People don't get to see those stories, but we're called out to help these animals no matter where they're going to end up. Hopefully it's back out to the natural environment, but they might have said, maybe these animals would be better with another facility. And that's fantastic. It's always what's going to be best for the animals. With these 4 pilot whales, they decided SeaWorld has the most expertise, the most resources to best provide for these animals under our care, which is amazing. We were so excited. We've been able to learn so much from them just in the short time that they've been here. They are now growing incredibly fast. When they came to us, these little ones, they were only about 6 months old. They weren't even eating fish yet. And because of the years of experience that SeaWorld has, we actually know a formula to make kind of a gruel that's very similar to what they would get from their moms, and that milk base that they would be getting. And we have years and years of history with that based on research that we've done with our dolphins that are in our care. So we were able to provide that for them, which contributed to their health and their survival, and they're just striving and doing so well now. When they came in, they were about 300 to 400 pounds. These little guys now weigh about 700 pounds, and Freddie, our larger whale, she's over 1,200 pounds now. So it's really a testament. As you can see, they're coming out here, they're interacting with us, they're doing amazingly well. So we're really proud of the work that we do. As animal trainers, as animal care specialists, we work hand in hand together. And these weekends are just such a great opportunity. You guys get to see some of those behind the scenes stories. Every weekend's going to be a little bit different. Next weekend, I'm sure a lot of you have seen our sea rescue programs. So you're going to get a chance to meet some of the people that are hands-on in those sea rescue stories that you get to see on TV. So, and then we've got our penguins, special behind the scenes with that. So it's just such a neat opportunity. We're so excited about these weekends that we've been able to provide for our guests. If you guys have any questions at all, open it up. I know we don't have a lot of time, so
Sure they do.
Please, questions.
Are the pilot whales going to be introduced into the part that the false whales were doing previously in the show?
Possibly. As long as they continue to do well and seem to enjoy that type of interaction, which as you can see when they came out, they love it. When they're coming out to the glass, they really seem to enjoy that interaction. So hopefully down the road, we'll try and work them into that, if you guys remember that storm sequence that we've had to pull from the show. We're hoping they will take over that, and that can be their role if they seem to do well with that. So that would be great. That would be amazing for us to be able to see them in that role.
How long have they been here?
They have been with us, let's see, Freddie's been with us about 2 years, and the little one's only about a year now. So they've come together as a family unit, and they're just doing so incredibly well together, socializing with each other and forming those bonds that you would see in a natural pod environment.
And real quick, just with that, like GP talked about, they were in the back area where we were for a long, long time. So it's only been a few, well, Freddie's been here about a year.
Right.
But how, I don't know how long.
It was May of 2012, so it hasn't actually, even with the little ones. Yeah, so it's been a little over, it hasn't really been that long that they've been here with us in this environment. So.
Were they in quarantine?
Sorry?
They were in like quarantine, right?
They were, yep.
How long were they in there?
Freddie, it's more than a year.
Yeah, Freddie. And again, when we were working with them in quarantine, we were still hoping they'd be able to be released. So we weren't really doing a whole lot of training per se. I mean, we weren't even feeding them above the water because out in their natural environment, they would need to eat underneath the water. So we weren't feeding them above the water. We weren't doing, all those kind of more training type of things that you would think of maybe for preparing them for a show, because back then we were still hoping that they might be able to, since they were 3 together, might be able to survive out there. But again, the federal government decided they probably wouldn't make it, so they stayed here with us. And that's when we started more of our traditional operant conditioning and positive reinforcement training with them that you would see that we utilize here. But that started really late. So that's even more, it's more amazing that they're doing so well. Yes? What's that? Every trainer's background's a little bit different. Some of our trainers do have a marine biology background, and we work very close with Hub's research facility, which there's more of the science aspect of that. I particularly don't have that kind of a background, but we have so many resources, and we're such a big team that we work together as much as we can with research, and SeaWorld's contributing the resources to provide a lot of that research that the marine biologists are doing. Yes?
What would you say is the most surprising thing you've learned so far from these whales?
Gosh, the most surprising is probably just how quickly they're picking up on the training techniques that we've provided. I mean, I think sometimes we go more slowly than they need us to because we're like really doing the baby steps with them, and they're like, we can do way more than that. So probably the most surprising thing is just how advanced and how quickly they're picking up on what we already do.
How does their intelligence, would you say, working with them compare to, like, say, the dolphins and the orcas? Are they pretty much on a par with them?
It's hard to say. I mean, it's really hard to compare species. They're very smart in their own way. They're not as quick, maybe, as some of the dolphins. Just by their natural biology, they don't move quite as quickly. So that sometimes takes us a little longer, maybe training them certain things because they just can't move the way a dolphin moves. But they're picking up on the foundations and the basics of what we do with positive reinforcement. They're picking up on that very, very quickly. And that's similar to what we've seen to dolphins and other species as well. Yeah. Yes?
Why don't they have pilot wheels and blue horizon still anymore?
This is the first time we've ever had pilot whales here at SeaWorld of Orlando. We used to have false killer whales as a part of our show, which unfortunately our last false killer whale did pass away. She was amazing. I'm sure any of you who saw the show were very touched and moved by her, as were all of us. So they haven't been in the show just yet. Out in San Diego, they have pilot whales out there, and they participate in the Blue Horizon show, so that is our goal. Hopefully they'll take that part, but they've never been in our show here. They've never been here at SeaWorld in Orlando. Anybody else? Any other questions? Well, we love having you guys as our fan base and our supporters. We really value all of you guys so much. It's really important to us that we get that message out, and we know you guys are a huge part of sharing our story and what we do. Nobody knows better what we do than those of us that do it. So, anything that's out there, please come to the source. Please tell your friends. Come and talk to us. We're always here. Our educators, our trainers, we love sharing what we do because we believe in it so much, and we're so passionate about what we do. And we know we make a difference, and we know you guys are a big part of helping us get that message out to make that difference. So we do thank you guys very, very much for being a part of our lives here.
What education is like? You were saying there's a wide variety.
There is.
What are some of the degrees that the trainers all have?
Gosh, it's very varied. Most of us have a Bachelor of Science degree. Mine in particular was pre-vet. A lot of people kind of went that zoological, thinking maybe I want to be a vet, hold on, maybe I want to do this. So kind of went that route. Probably the most closely related to what we actually do is psychology. You know, with operant conditioning and training in particular, if you wanted to be in an animal training field, psychology is the most closely related. Even if it's human psychology, the principles are exactly the same. You know, we're reinforcing good behavior. All those principles come from psychology.
And what are the protocol names?
Their names?
Yeah.
Well, the larger one that you saw, her name is Freddie. She's the first one we came. I don't name them.
I think at first we weren't sure she was a bear.
I know. She's a very cute girl named Freddie, but we've grown, yeah, exactly. We've grown to love her name, Frederica, exactly. I think that is her official full name. We call her Freddie. Then we also have Ava is the smallest of the three. They're all about the same age, we estimate. She tends to be the smallest female, is Ava. And then we have Ace, who's our only boy, and then Piper, also a female. Yeah. Little girls, we had a little more influence. We like Freddie. We love Freddie too. We love her. Do you guys have any questions about training or dolphins or what I do? So we're happy to share.
So the government said they couldn't go back.
Correct.
Why?
Mostly because of their size. They were so young. They were too small to survive. They hadn't learned the necessary survival skills. They didn't have a mom to learn from. All the moms passed away in the stranding. They didn't make it, whereas the babies did. So they really wouldn't have had anyone to learn from. Even though we were trying to feed them fish underwater, still not the same as being able to learn how to, you know, catch fish and just the social and survival skills that they need to make it out in that ocean environment. If you think about it, it's a big world out there, and they hadn't learned any of that. So I believe that was the primary reason, is just they were just too young. They hadn't learned any of those skills.